Well, hello everyone. My name is Rick Passek, and welcome to another edition of On the Bench with Sport Fishing on the Fly. Today, the Pumpkinhead. They're a little different though. This is going to be the brown version of the Pumpkinhead. We found this one can be very effective at times. The Pumpkinhead is a phenomenal fly, and this is just a slightly different color version of it. That's you can pick up at stores as well. But what I like about this is you can change up how dark or how light the brown is on this, just depending on which brand of marabou and dubbing you use. So this one's more on the golden brown. So for the hook, we have a Ahrex FW562 in a size 8. For the thread, we're going to be using some Semperfli Nano Silk in white. If you've got brown, use that. And for the tail, I'm going to be using some Flyanger Golden Brown Strung Marabou. For the body, I'm going to be using the Hair Dubbing Plus from Hens. I'm going to be using the number 22 right here. And then orange hackle. And that, and sometimes I use wire. This version I'm not going to. I'm going to show you why for the counter rib. And that's about it. So, okay, let's get her going. So tie on my thread. You're not going to see the thread anyway, so that's why I'm not worried about it being white or brown or green or black. Makes absolutely really no difference because you're not going to see it. It'll be completely buried. Okay. I like putting just a layer down all the way. And then I will take my marabou. And I want it about 1 to 1.5 times the length of the body. So a little bit more about that past. So about there. So I'm just going to tie that in all the way back to my bend. And then go under the pile and over and under and over. That'll help keep that marabou up and away from the from fouling and the twisting in with the hook. So sorry. So now you can. It's up to you which way you want to dub. You can do a dubbing loop, or you can just hand twist on. I like doing just a hand twist because I like a slighter, tighter dubbing batch here. If you're doing it. Doing it in a dubbing loop, you'll get a little bit more spiky. And for this one, that's not what I want. I want a little bit, not a tight, I wouldn't call it a tight dub, but a little too much there for my taste. Tighten that up a bit. And then a tiny bit more radium behind there. Now, if you wanted, you can add just one piece of like Mirage Flash or even an orange flash to the tail. I have found I don't need it most of the time, but I will put them both in from time to time. So now I'm just going to grab a piece of this hackle. It's really long, so I'm just cutting it shorter. Just otherwise, I'll be smashing into the camera. All these things you got to think about when you're filming. So I make sure that the bright side or the more colorful side is facing out. You know what? I know why that's happening, because I didn't wax. Good lesson for you guys. Wax, wax, wax. 1, 2 at the front, and then back. Usually get 6 in. I just got 6 in. So now, because I didn't do the wire, I just take my thread and go through it all the way back and then all the way forward. And done. That takes place of the wire. You don't have to worry about it. Now, if you want to put the wire in, if you'd rather do it that way, go ahead. It's totally up to you. And then I'll just do a whip finish here, and I'll make sure I sink that right in there so it doesn't get seen. Another 3-turn whip finish and sink that right in there. Cut that off. Cut off your hackle. And there is your brown version of the Pumpkinhead, golden brown. So make sure you have some of these in your box alongside your regular olive green Pumpkinhead, because there are times when you will need them. So, well, thanks again for tuning in to this edition of On the Bench of Sport Fishing on the Fly. Tie lines, everyone.